Have you ever wished on hating someone that is no longer part of your life who never gave you a reason to hate them? If that's the case, I Wish I Hated You by Ariana Grande might be your song. But before we get started, hello and welcome back to Lyric Dani. I'm your host Dani, and today we'll be analyzing and breaking down I Wish I Hated You by Ariana Grande. So let's get started. So first things first, I Wish I Hated You came out in 2024 with the Eternal Sunshine album, marking Ariana's 7th studio album. It is a breakup song, but more of like a breakup ballad in a way. How it captures the complex emotions tied to the end of a relationship. It's a bittersweet reflection of the struggle of wanting to hate someone who was once so significant in your life, but finding yourself unable to do so. Maybe there's something within the haunting melodies and the heartfelt lyrics that just makes this the most painful song from the album. Excluding the deluxe version, when I wrote this song analysis, which is in the description if you want to check it out, the deluxe version hadn't come out by then. Having the deluxe version, I do think it's a tough time between Hamset and I Wish I Hated You that makes the saddest songs from the album. Let me know if you think I Wish I Hated You sadder than Hamset or the other way around, or maybe both, because they're both very heartbreaking and very touching in a way. I do have a written analysis on Hamset and the entire Eternal Sunshine album. I'll be linking it in the description down below if you want to check that out. And if you do want me to do video analysis of these essays, so like you can hear a bit more of the story, let me know in the comments down below as well. And well, let's proceed with the video and actually get within the lyrics of it. The opening verse of I Wish I Hated You starts off with, hung all my clothes in the closet you made, your shoes still in boxes, I send them your way, hoping life brings you no new pain. It seems that the house that was once from the two of you is only now yours. You built this place as a couple, and now it feels like a collection of phantom memories lingering around. Everything around you reminds you of them. When things fell apart, some of their belongings remained at your place. But eventually, you return those items to the original owner, cutting all ties together. You might have held to one piece in hopes that things would change, only wishing for their happiness and denying any feelings of pain. I rearranged my memories, I tried to rewrite our life. So this line actually connects with the intro of I Wish I Hated You. The starting melodies, it's like some sort of beeping going on, as if it was some sort of machinery going on, but in your mind, like wires connecting and like sort of like, I don't know, like some sort of like mechanism going on inside your brain in a way. It's that sensation of trying to rearrange your memories to lessen the pain. In this mental rearrangement, you filter through the moments that went uneven, longing to reshape them into an ideal tale of romance, where every error fades into the background, leaving only the shimmering highlights of what could have been. This scenario actually connects with the film Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which Ariana has mentioned that her album is inspired by the film. So the thing about this film is mainly how Clementine erases Joel from her memory, which they used to be a couple, and there's like this service going on in town that you can like erase your memory, you can erase a certain person from your memories. Apparently Joel found out, when he shouldn't have, that Clementine erased him from her memory, and then he wanted to do the same because it seemed very miserable for him that she can live without him and he can't live without her, And to create this memory erasing process, you do need to like collect any sort of thing that does reminds you of this person. It's a similar journey how you're trying to like rearrange your memories, creating this lovely timeline, and then here in the film at least, like Joel is trying to recollect everything that reminds him of Clementine so he could erase her entirely from his mind. So it seems that both characters confront the heart-wrenching complexities of love and loss as they struggle with the bitter task of erasing what were once treasured moments from their lives. And that's how I made like that connection, how you're trying to like arrange your memories like mentally in a way, so it's only that pretty timeline that went down, and like try your best in a way to erase this person from your mind so you can stop thinking of them. It's very similar to what Clementine and Joel were doing. Well, I just thought that was pretty cool connection and how it connects with like the actual background melodies of the song. And I just thought that was pretty cool. And while heading towards the pre-chorus with the chorus, it goes, but no matter how I try to, and no matter how I want to, and no matter how easy things could be if I did, and no matter how guilty I still feel saying it, I wish I hated you, I wish that weren't true. Wish there was worse to you. I wish you were worse to me. Yeah, I wish I hated you. So the thing about this heartbreak in particular, you try not to have feelings about this person that's no longer part of your life, and you wish you can hate them, but your heart seems to skip a beat at the thought of them. Things could be easier on your end if you could despise this person instead of having fond feelings for them. You're grieving this person who is no longer part of your journey. And Ariana actually did say this in an interview, stating that grieving would be so much easier if we hated a person. The thing is that you are so fondly attached and in love that you wish you could hate them, but you know the truth, which is basically impossible. You also desire that they had been worse to you so you could have a reason to loathe them. Because now you're in the state of trying to move on in a way, but can't seem to move on or forget this person because this person wasn't miserable enough for you to despise them, because things were pretty good actually, and well, things didn't end up good, like you guys ended up breaking up. So it's kind of like a harder process to move on in a way, compared to if they would have been miserable to you. That would have been way much easier to move on, but that doesn't seem to be the case right now. Heading towards the second verse, it goes, our shadows dance in parallel planes. So fun fact, this is actually a metaphor how in geometry, we're going back to school right now, it's like how parallel lines are straight and extend indefinitely without ever intersecting. They remain forever separated regardless how far their endpoints are stretched. And there's this sort of imagery going on, how it conveys a sense of isolation, suggesting that even proximity can create emotional distance, leaving each person yearning for connection yet unable to bridge the divide. How it's like you two were both so close yet so far right at the same time. Which, little spoiler actually, this is a line that Ariana does mentions later on in the song. I thought that was pretty cool connection actually. It continues with just two different endings you learn to repair, and I learned to keep me in one place. So it seems that they were able to move on with their lives, but you stayed within the same place they left you. You learned from them that it was better to remain in a safe space rather than to move on. So close and yet so far, if only we had known from the start. As I mentioned, this line was in the song. It's an expression that shows how close you guys were to getting what you wanted most, but it seems like fate had a different plan for you. It reflects the bittersweet nature of dreams being disrupted, where the illusion of what could have been lingers just out of reach, reminding us of the unpredictable twists life can take. If only you could have foreseen the twists and turns, would your path have taken a different course? Would you still find the courage to relive all those moments, knowing well the challenges that lay ahead? So actually, the reason why I wrote these questions down, it's because if you could have see within the future, things will be the same in a way. If you would have known from the start, would you still want to relive all that you went through? Would it have been worth it in a way? So the song does conclude with the pre-chorus and the chorus once again, but the thing about the last chorus in one of the last I Wish I Hated You, approaching the finale of the song, when Ariana sings I Wish I Hated You, her voice sort of breaks in a way. She did mention that she probably was crying while recording this. The thing about this particular line and feeling, it's echoing with the haunting familiarity that tugs at the heartstrings. In this aching moment, we can feel it. We can feel Ariana's voice trembling and breaking, slightly cracking in a way, reflecting the emotional vulnerability going on throughout the song. How it's we're trying to hold back those tears that we want to let out so bad for someone that's no longer part of our lives. The thing about this raw fragility is that it deeply captures the struggle of confronting one's truth, highlighting just how difficult it can be to voice what lies deep within. How despite things breaking up, things breaking apart, it seems that you still have that emotional connection towards this person, and you try everything to move on in a way, but there's no sort of route to be able to hate them, so it would be way easier to move on as mentioned. But now you just lie between holding back your tears and wishing you can despise this person in a way. And I think that's kind of what makes I Wish I Hated You beautiful and tragic both at the same time. So yeah, let me know if you think the same or something similar. And well, that is a wrap. Thank you so much if you stayed all the way through. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, whatever you want. Be my guest. I'll be linking the essays in the description down below, as well as the songs so you can have a listen and understand what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I'll see you on the next one.